Hello, hello, everybody. It's going to be a great day because we're talking babies. No, not just because of that. It's going to be a great day because we're going to make it a great day. And we're going to talk about babies because I'm sure you heard that Kevin and I are finally going to be parents. And we're so excited and we want to share the whole journey with you guys and maybe demystify the process a little bit. First, we'll start with our quote of the day. You know what the great thing about babies is? They are like little bundles of hope, like the future in a basket. That is Lish McBride. Heal Squad, thank you so much for being back with us. If this is your first time on the show, we are a life improvement show with a very strong focus on health and wellness. And every day we are learning and growing and adding more tools to our tool belt so that we can live a stronger, healthier, happier life. And we do it together because we're better together. So welcome to any new listeners. And like I said, we have the best of the best on this show, bringing us incredible information that is life-changing and life-saving. And it has been for me and so many people. So welcome. And now you're officially a part of the Heal Squad too. So last week, I was on Live with Kelly. And I always say Live with Kelly. I always abbreviate it. Poor Ryan. I'm so sad. And I did it in front of him the other day and I was so embarrassed. And I was like, Ryan, sorry. I've always abbreviated it. Like whoever's the first name, I just go with that. Live with Regis, like just short.
But she's also been the anchor for like a minute. So like, I get it, so he probably understood.
So bad. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, that's not poop in the background. That's Bobo's bone. I tried removing it. And he just took it and put it right back there. So apparently he wants this in the frame. And so just do not be afraid of what's going on back there. But yeah, I was on Live with Kelly and Ryan last week with Kevin, my husband, and my dad. And we were announcing at the same time with People Magazine, who's also been amazing to me and helping me announce things, usually not great things health-wise, but this time it was very exciting news. So that was great. So we announced that after almost a decade of trying, we are finally going to be parents. And it's funny, there have been so many people recently that have been telling me that this journey is still a bit of a mystery, I guess, that people don't really share all the details. And I wasn't really kind of aware of that, I guess. I felt like everyone talks about that, they had a baby through surrogacy and maybe they haven't gone as in depth as people want. Do you feel, Kelsey, like you've heard a lot about this stuff? I mean, you're not in that world, so maybe.
No, I feel like I know very, very, very little. And especially like people in the public eye, you hear, oh, they had a baby like via surrogate, but you don't know why. You have reasons that like you assume, but I've never heard a lot about the process really at all until we had Stephanie on talking about it. And like, yeah, that was, to me, that episode was very eye-opening and kind of being next to you while you've gone through your process. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I've learned a lot that I had no idea about.
Stephanie Levich, who Kelsey's referring to, is from Family Match Consulting. She is the woman who helped us find our surrogate that we officially were able to implant, and she's carrying our baby, which is super exciting. And so if you want to go back to that episode, you can look up Stephanie Levich, Levich. I think her name would be in the title of the show, right, Kels?
Yes. And we can link it in the description for y'all too.
So because people have said that they haven't gotten enough information, I'm going to try to share. I made a list. I'm going to try to share as much as I possibly can. Trying to get Kim K to jump on at some point with us as well, because she went through it and she was so helpful to me in this journey in every possible way. So we'll start at the beginning. So Maria at 35 realizes her window is closing fast. And she decides she's going to do IVF because the truth is I was so busy with work. I was working, thousands of hours and just didn't have time. But I also didn't want to miss my window.
And Maria, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Can you, I don't even know can you tell us what IVF is?
So Kelsey's in a new location now because we were having some bad reception. The studio, by the way, we have a studio. We are not filming in here forever. We have a new studio that's being built and it's almost done. It is stunning. We're so excited about it. So for right now, Kelsey had to move locations. Hopefully Wi-Fi signal will be better there. But yes, I did IVF. So Kelsey, I know you wanted to know what IVF is. Basically,
yeah, it's like I've heard about it, but I'm like, what is it?
So basically, for people who are having trouble getting pregnant normally, you can go to a fertility doctor and they will put you on a plan to be able to stimulate more eggs to be grown inside of you. And then they'll do a procedure at the end of that cycle to remove them and preserve them. So you can freeze your eggs or you can freeze embryos. And embryos are where they take my egg and then someone's sperm, in my case, my husband's, and they put it in a dish and they hope that they connect and become an embryo. And so you're taking these hormones basically through this process to stimulate the growth. That's the layperson's definition of IVF. We've also had Dr. Wendy Chang on the show before, and if you guys want, we can have her on again. Just let us know in the comments. And so we did that. We did 3 rounds, I believe. Definitely did 2 rounds. I believe I did 3 total. And we got a couple that actually became embryos. There was a final cycle I did when I was sick. So we weren't really excited about the hopes of those 2 that we removed. But we did have 3 good embryos, 2 good embryos and 1 fair. So they genetically test them and they also grade them. So we put 2 good ones in. Oh, actually, did we do the good and the fair? I forget because I forget the sexes. So they accidentally told us the sexes of these embryos. I didn't want to know, but I can't remember which was which. But we put 2 in. Only 1 took. But I'll get to that part. So we did the IVF cycles and we stored them in the freezer. And we were hopeful to be able to implant them in me. Before this, we did in vitro, where they take Kevin's sperm. This is so intense. They take Kevin's sperm and then they plug it up inside of you. And you sit in this room for a while, hoping that those little swimmers will go to your eggs and boom, you'll be pregnant. That never worked. I joked on Live with Kelly and Ryan that when we were trying on those days that we knew we were really fertile, Kevin literally hung me upside down like a chicken. Like we did everything we could to get pregnant. Nothing would work. We did the vacations. We did all of it. And then what happened soon after was we found out my mom had a brain tumor and our world stopped. And then a few months later, we found out I had a brain tumor and the world stopped again. So here are these little chickies in the freezer, just waiting to be used. But we're in crisis. And the last thing you can think of is bringing life in. And I also couldn't be pregnant at that point. So soon after the pregnancy, soon after the brain surgery, my neurosurgeon said that he did not think it was a good idea to ever be pregnant because they believe that there's a hormonal connection between these tumors, these meningioma tumors. And hormones grow things, which is why you do IVF, to grow more eggs. And if I was to get pregnant, his concern was that I would grow the tumor that's left in the brain because he wasn't able to remove the whole thing. And so that's what started our journey to surrogacy, because we knew it was very dangerous for me to get pregnant at that point. And so implanting in me wasn't a good idea. And so we started that whole kind of path. First person I called was Kim Kardashian because she's a friend. She had done surrogacy and she connected me with her people. Zoe Saldana also helped me. And it was funny. So this is an interesting story. So Kim gave me her team and we had a stop down at some point. So the woman who was helping me find a surrogate, we stopped working with her, and Zoe connected me with an agency thereafter when it was time to pick back up again. So there's a lot of start and stops in this journey. And Kim had told me about her attorney, and she described him like this angel. And he was just the nicest man ever. So now imagine I'm in this surrogate agency's office talking to this woman about the process. And she says, you're going to meet the attorney today that does all of the paperwork. And he comes in and he's giving me angel vibes. Like, he's just the nicest man I've ever met. He's so awesome. And I just kept feeling like, I know Kim told me about this amazing angel lawyer. And I'm like, I kind of feel like it might be this guy. So he's talking. I said, excuse me, I just have to look something up. So I'm searching the text with Kim to find this guy's name. And I couldn't find it. And so finally, because I was under pressure, finally I asked him, I said, I have to ask you something really strange, but were you Kim's lawyer? And he said, yes. How did you know? And I said, wow, the way she described you and the way I feel right now in front of you, you are that guy. And so anyhow, that was our story with Andrew Vorzimer, our lawyer. So we started on the journey. We found a surrogate, and she was an angel, another just amazing human who was just so gracious to be able to do this with us. And we started on the journey 3 days before COVID started. I signed the paperwork, and then the world shut down 3 days later or 2 days later. And so boom, we stop again. So there's so many starts and stops, right? Life just kept happening. And so I was terrified to try to move forward in this moment in the world. We didn't know what was happening. We were terrified. We're washing packages. So we put a hold on it till later in the summer. And then at that point, we started seeing other people having babies, and things were working out. And so we started the plan back up again. And what people don't realize is it's such a long journey just from the time you even choose a surrogate, the paperwork that's involved, the doctor appointments to clear her, the things you butt up against, like they have a cyst that we have to pass or they're going to have to remove. There's so many things that also slow the process down. And no matter how fast you want to speed it up, you can't. So where we were at with our first surrogate was every time we got to like, we're almost there, we're going to be implanting soon, the uterine lining wouldn't grow to that final stage where we knew that we could safely implant the baby or babies. And we'd have to start all over again and start all over again. And God bless this woman. She tried so hard. And I think it was like a year of us trying because neither of us wanted to give up on each other. And finally, Dr. Chang said, this is not going to work, unfortunately, with her. And we had like a breakup call. It was so sad. All three of us were bawling our brains out on this phone call because she was so trying for us. We were trying to stick it out as long as we could with her. And, that was a whole journey in and of itself. And right when I was going to give up, my lawyer, Andy, said, we only have a few months left on this agency contract. He's like, I really think if you want to do this fast, we have to get this woman, Stephanie Levich, on board from Family Match Consulting. And so he connects me with her, and she finds us a surrogate within a day. Just boom, we have someone. And of course, she's perfect. And so we start the process again. And from there, again, the same thing, lots of doctor appointments. You have to redo all the paperwork. Everything has to start from the beginning. And there were a few little hiccups along the way, little health things that we had to deal with and fix. And then we were finally at that place. Now, there was a moment where I thought while my mom was passing that it was going to work with our first surrogate. And I was like, oh my gosh, if she can just get to at least hold this baby. But that wasn't in the cards. Now with this surrogate, we got to the place where it was like, it's implantation week and she's coming in with her husband. And we were so excited. We met them. We spent the whole week together getting to know them. And I guess that's not a usual thing. I guess people just, maybe have one meeting and then that's it. But for us, like, they're instantly our family now. They're doing something so amazing for us. So we spent the whole week together, love them. They're the nicest people ever. She wanted to be a surrogate even before she married her husband. So I asked her husband and he's like, oh yeah, before we even, when we were first dating, she was really, really focused on wanting to do this someday. Even before she had her own kids, this was just something she knew she had a calling for. And so, yeah, we implanted that week and hoped for the best. We did implant 2. I really, really believed we were going to have 2. I would talk to them at night in my prayers, and I really thought that was going to work out. And twins run in our family. So we were actually nervous, the worst scenario of like both splitting eggs, because so each egg has the possibility of splitting.
Oh my gosh.
Each embryo. So we were like, what if we have quadruplets? Like that's how crazy this could be. But, and that's something that you have an appointment with a therapist at some point in this journey where they ask you all these questions. And one of the questions is, what if these split? Are you prepared for that? And I was like, well, if God wants us to have 4 kids, we're going to have 4 kids. What am I going to do? But I'll tell you, and I have video of this and maybe I'll share it at some point. But when we did our first ultrasound after we found out we were pregnant, the surrogate voice texted me, or we did like a video, a Zoom, and she was like, baby is doing great. So here's me and Kevin in front of the iPad. We're so excited. We're going to find out we have twins in there. It's going to be amazing. And she says, baby is doing great. And the 2 of us just freeze. And I'm like, it was like what you talking about, Willis? You don't know that reference probably, Kelsey.
I do. My dad used to say it all the time growing up.
Okay. What you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about, Willis?
I was like, wait, what? And like, I understood so many people's pain so fast in that moment because I really was sure we were going to have 2. And then just tears are streaming down my face and I'm filming this because this was supposed to be like, an exciting moment. I wanted to capture it. I want to have it in my life. And, just that mental switch over from, no, that's not what's happening, but you do have one that did take. It took a second or maybe a minute. And then I didn't believe it for a while. I was like, well, some babies are hidden. I did some research. Sometimes they're hidden. Remember, Kelsey, I was telling you?
Yes, I do remember.
I think the baby's hidden. We definitely have another one in there.
Your intuition is so strong. I was like, I didn't doubt it. I was like, you might be right.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like,
I could see this other like hidden sac in there. I was like, what's that? And it's connected.
Yeah.
And so maybe it had tried and then didn't work.
Yeah.
So it took a minute to kind of get past that. And we did, of course, because you just have to be grateful for what you have. And we are so grateful. And I do believe that, God knows what we can handle. And so we do have one more embryo that is of a good quality that we can use in the future if we choose. But it takes a really long time, friends. This was almost a 10-year journey to get to this place where we are pregnant And then you do kind of all, these ultrasound appointments, and we're doing them via Zoom. And so you get to see the heartbeat, and it becomes more and more real for you. You get pictures of the sonogram and all of that. And I want to go back to, and we can do a deeper dive on this if everybody is interested. But when you are going through this, you're going to have a lot of questions, and I had Kim to really lean on for this. So when you do these contracts, these contracts are very nitty gritty with the surrogate. Like, where is the baby going to be delivered? And what do you want the surrogate to do? What can they eat? And what should they not do? And travel, and what's allowed, and COVID restrictions. And so Kim was very chill about stuff. Like, she was very, she was not one of those people that was, you need to drink, Evian water from, this part of the world. And so I learned from her, and we definitely were like, travel's out of the question because of COVID and everything. So no traveling, masks when you're around a lot of people, and making sure you take the precautions. But what was amazing about our surrogate is she said, I want to do whatever you would do if you were the one pregnant. And I just melted. And I was like, so grateful, because it takes a lot of the pressure off. So I don't want to pressure her to do all kinds of things. She has a good head on her shoulders. She is so diligent and careful that I know I don't have to stress that she's going to be really cautious. I have sent her organic meat through Thrive Market, who used to be a sponsor on the show. So I send her monthly organic meat and fish, so that, at least that part is really carefully done. I've sent some supplements that Lori Bregman, our doula, has helped us with. Lori did a whole, I'm going to make a note actually, because we should do a whole episode with her on this. But we did a whole Zoom together where she shared, what bone broth she should be on. So I sent her bone broth. I sent her supplements that Lori suggested. And all of this would be on Lori's website. We'll link to that. And we'll do an episode with her as well. We'll probably do like a whole IVF week for you guys. If interested, just let us know in the comments. And what else did I ask her to do? I think that was kind of the main things. Oh, and really just avoiding sugar. But I said to her, listen, if you have a craving, have it. What are we going to do? It's not the end of the world, but we also want to eat as well as we can, so the baby's getting all of its nutrients. When we look at even episodes with Dan Buettner, who was on recently, and so many of the experts we have on this show, diet is so important. We've normalized eating crap and thinking that it's okay. And then we don't make the correlation to why we're all so sick, why everyone has all of these ailments. And so diet is really, really important. But I also know we're human, and it's not like you can't splurge and have moments. But as long as you're really, really good most of the time, I think you're in good shape. So that's kind of how I handled all of that. And then, yeah, we love the family. We FaceTime and we keep in touch, and she'll send me little, texts like, the baby is the size of a pea now. The baby is the size of, this or that. And so those are really fun little messages to get. And then time started kind of passing, and I was feeling like, okay, now, they tell you a certain time period that passes when you can announce. And so I went home Christmas Eve, and I wanted to tell my dad in person. He wasn't feeling well, and I just didn't want him to be not well without me. So I went home, And I decided that I was going to make him a little gift box that he would open, and little cards would come out with the announcement in there. And so we have a little video we'll share with you guys that I took of my dad finding out that he was going to be a papu, which is a grandfather in Greek. Take a look. Are you able to raise the volume on it, Kels?
Where's the present?
Where's the present?
Not here.
Well, you got to open it like this.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Oh, he opens it. Well, oh,
One page at a time.
what?
One thing at a time. This. So I had tissue paper separating each note card.
Take that out.
Okay. What does it
I
say?
love him so much.
Okay, now take just this card out. It says congratulations.
You make it
It's hard
so
with your big
difficult.
fingers. Okay. Congratulations. Now take just this one out.
Oh, geez. How many papers? I don't have the figures to do that. Okay. Oh,
Okay, hold on. Don't move. Don't move.
you are gonna be?
Okay. Now take that out.
A billionaire.
Yeah.
And another paper.
A papu finally. Oh, that's good. That's good news. That's
Take
good.
Take that card out.
That's good news.
That's your
Oh.
grandbaby.
Oh.
Oh, Wi-Fi, you're so adorable. So basically he pulls out a photo of the sonogram of the baby. And what was really cool was the night before, the surrogate said, I have an idea. Let me schedule an ultrasound visit at this clinic that just does little peeks. It's not a medical clinic like for the official stuff, but just so you can look at the baby. So right after that moment, we rolled into a live video stream ultrasound of the baby. And you hear all of this, little baby music in the background. And my dad got to watch the baby in real time in the surrogate's womb and in color. So not just the black and white image, you're able to see the baby in color, its face, like all of this stuff. It was wild. I mean, at that point, I hadn't seen anything like it. So we'll roll that clip so you can see. Now, we're not showing pictures of the baby for a lot of reasons, but you'll get to see our reactions, which is cool. God. Oh. Guys, that's my baby.
No. Quiero que llegue tu gesto.
I love you. You could see my dad's holding back emotions.
Hey, Kevin.
Right? It's so wild. My dad, so I couldn't tell as it was all happening because I was so excited, but when I watch it back, he was fidgeting with his hands and he was fidgeting his eyes and he was so emotional. And then he started crying because he was really sad about my mom not being here for all of this. And I said to him, I was like, Dad, she's the one who's sending this baby. I fully know it. She went up there and was like, God, it's time.
God, it's time. I agree.
And so that was a really special gift that our surrogate and her family gave us to drag their family into this facility on Christmas Eve, just to share that with my dad was really special. And my gratitude to them just will never, ever be able to be explained properly or expressed properly. So that was me telling my dad on Christmas Eve that we were having a baby, that he was going to be a papu. And that made it more real, I think, because the little cards is one thing, but when you actually see a baby, it's just like, whoa. And
that's fine. That's what I was going to ask you, Maria. I was going to say, like, when did it like really hit? Was it seeing it, like the ultrasound and everything?
Yeah, that was, you see me, I'm like, oh my God, we're having a baby. And
yeah.
And, I talked to the baby and I've created little audio recordings. So Lori Bregman, who is the doula of all doulas, and my dear friend said, you have to record things so that the surrogate can play it for the baby and the baby will get used to your voice. So I wrote out kind of the inception story of how we got there. And I told it to the baby. And so she plays it. And now I'm about to do another one so that we have something updated, because I don't want the surrogate to lose her mind hearing the same thing over and over. But yeah, it's wild. And so when I realized, I can't do anything without people finding out. It's like I can't order anything for the baby room. I can't do any of these things. I was like, we need to announce this. And so I reached out to my friends at People Magazine, and they were amazing. And then I reached out to my friends and family at Live with Kelly and Ryan and said, guys, if I'm going to do this anywhere, you guys have been on this journey with me, and I would love to share some good news with you guys. So we went out to New York. I was so nervous, so nervous, and then we announced it there, and just the love bomb has been so beautiful, and I'm so grateful for it. People, and people I told in advance, crying on the phone with us, just so happy for us. And it really just, babies make people so happy, first of all, but it really reminds you of how many great people you have in your life when they're happy for you and excited for you in these moments. And so there's a lot of love and a lot of excitement going on. And Kevin and I are just giddy for the arrival of our little one, and how life is just going to be so magical and exciting when this baby does come. So gearing up for a really fun summer.
Is there anything that you're like most excited about when the baby comes? Like, is there something that you're like, oh, I can't wait to do this with the baby, or I don't know, something that you keep thinking of?
I keep meditating on the baby growing healthily, and I pray every night for the safety of the baby and the surrogate and their family. In my meditations, I envision being in the delivery room and the baby coming out, and me putting the baby on my chest, and that I know the baby is healthy and the baby knows that I'm my healthiest, and that we can have a long, happy, fun, adventurous, exciting, magical life together. And that's what I keep focusing on in all of my meditations every day, because that's what I want. And so that's what I'm hopeful for.
I love that. And obviously you don't have to tell us, but do you guys have a name picked out?
So I talked about it on the show. We want to go Greek. We have a name we really love. We don't love the meaning behind it as much. So that's the tricky part. But I don't think we are going to sway from this name, because it's just, we're already using it. We already love it. So I guess my question to all of you is it okay if you don't love the meaning behind the name, but you love the name and the name is bomb?
Well, you know what I think, because I heard you talk about that. I'm like my name doesn't have a meaning. So I feel like most people's unless obviously Greek are going to have meanings, but you can forget about that because most people don't even have that. So if you just like the name, I think you like the name. And if it fits, I know moms have talked about this, or talking about the Kardashians. I know Kylie changed the name of her baby because they had one in mind and then saw the baby and it was that didn't fit. So
yeah, I'm open to that happening.
Yeah. I'm that could be the case.
I am open to that happening. We'll see.
That's exciting. Okay. We have one more question. This was a cute question from one of our interns. She wanted to know, what is something that you can't wait to share with your child once you meet them?
So much love. Years of love that has been waiting. So that's what I want to share.
I'm so excited for you guys. You're the best parents.
Yeah, we're really, really excited. So that's been our journey And I know people have had way more painful journeys. This was just a long journey, but I was patient throughout. I was very patient because I knew that, there's a timing and there's a rhythm in life. And it was funny. Kelly Ripa said, she goes, all my friends, Andy Cohen, Anderson Cooper, everyone who's had their babies later in life, she's like, I feel like they're such better parents. They're calmer. She was like, when we did it, she's like, we were trying to figure everything out and it was just so hectic. She's like, I think you guys are going to have such a greater experience. And I believe that because we are calmer. We know so much more. Not that I'm not going to be a worry ward. I'm really going to try not to. Man, I'm going to have to lean into my meditations. But I think that we're more settled in our understanding of life and what's important and what isn't. And to me, the most important thing is our health and being able to be with each other and have quality time because we don't know how much time we all have together. And so all of those like career things, they're all behind us, and family and life is going to be the most important thing. So I'm just excited for this new chapter, and I'm excited to see my dad with this little one. I just see him holding hands and walking through the yard in Connecticut, and I don't know. I'm so excited, and I'm creating the family committee for this baby to have. So they have their created family of people that are going to love them and be there for them. Is that you, Kev?
That's me.
Oh, hi, Francisco.
It's Francisco.
I'm doing my show, so I can't talk right now. Anyhow, so we're really, really excited for all of this, and just to go through all of these experiences. I mean, to hold your own child must be the most unbelievable feeling in the world. And I think I'm going to be scotch taped to them. I don't think that I'm
you will be too.
going to be able to, like, my friends are like, we see how you are with your dogs. Just wait.
Yeah.
And that's a whole other thing. So Tamar Geller, our really dear friend who is, dog trainer to Oprah's dogs and so many other, of our friends and celebrities and such, she is obviously going to help us kind of do those introductions. But I know Bobo is going to be right in that crib. And what's sad is I'm going to lose Bobo, but seeing our dogs with a baby, I think is going to be so magical.
Yeah. How do you think Winnie's gonna take that?
Winnie will be great. I think Winnie just wants to be peace. So she has her anxiety issues. She's just going to be like, oh, this is a life that's sleeping. She'll want to sleep next to the baby.
Yeah.
But I think with her, it's a whole other thing. With Bobo, he's just going to want to sleep next to it and just chill.
Oh, I really am. I mean, you just said it, but like you're this like whole new chapter you guys are going on. It's so exciting. And I just can't wait to watch like you guys both unfold like into these new people, like parents. I don't know. It's crazy. And it really is like the love that you have, like a child and their parents have. Like, it's stupid. It makes me emotional. Like, even just when I like think of my mother, I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm so excited for you. I know it's been such a long journey, and I'm like, the fact that it's actually happening is just, it's so exciting.
I know.
I'm so happy for you guys.
It's a whole new journey to go on.
It really is.
So I'll be sharing the journey here on the show. And I'm here to answer any questions and bring on all the best experts to help you in your journey, because I'm sure a lot of you listening are in the throes of all of this. And I hope that, we can help educate and clarify and help you along in that journey. And in the meantime, don't forget, Macy's is a big supporter of this show, and we're so grateful for them because that's how we get to do this every day. I have all of my personally curated items that I have collected on Macys.com/Heal Squad. Stuff for your home, kitchen, fashion items, and so much more. My favorite, Anastasia gel freeze for the eyebrows. All the important things, friends. So if you go to Macy's.com/Heal Squad, anything you buy on that link, gives us credit, and we're so grateful for your support through that link. Anything you buy, even if it's not stuff that I've curated, if it's something you need at Macy's, and they have everything, so you don't need to go anywhere else. They really have everything. Anything you buy through that link helps us. So
I'm about to go baby
that.
clothes shopping on there for y'all.
Oh my God. I forgot about baby clothes.
Right? Little shoes. Yeah.
Oh,
that's what I'm
my
gonna do.
goodness. I think I might have a new addiction. I forgot. For years I'll go window shopping, and I'll see little like baby outfits. And I'm like, I can't wait to do that.
It's so cute. It's like hard to believe when you look at baby clothes. I've had friends have babies and I'm buying stuff and I'm like, how is a human this small?
I know.
I'm so excited. So I'm going to look on Macy's for some baby clothes.
Oh yeah, we might have to put some up on the link.
Exciting.
So cool. All right, friends. In the meantime, love you all. Thank you. Be nice people. Make good choices and be present.
This podcast and all related content published or distributed by or on behalf of Maria Menounos or MariaMenounos.com is for informational purposes only and may include information that is general in nature and that is not specific to you. Any information or opinions expressed or contained herein are not intended to serve as or replace medical advice, nor to diagnose, prescribe, or treat any disease, condition, illness, or injury, and you should consult the healthcare professional of your choice regarding all matters concerning your health, including before beginning any exercise, weight loss, or healthcare program. If you have or suspect you may have a healthcare emergency, please contact a qualified healthcare professional for treatment. Any information or opinions provided by a guest expert or host featured within website or on company's podcast are their own, not those of Maria Menounos or the company. Accordingly, Maria Menounos and the company cannot be responsible for any results or consequences or actions you may take based on information or opinions.